Welcome everyone, Joe with ECRM here at our beauty sessions in Dallas, and with me is Pooja from Mudita Earth, who's had a lot of success at both at our sessions and with RangeMe, where they are a premium subscriber. We're gonna get into some of that right now. So thanks for joining us, and to start
Anytime.
off, tell us about the company.
So Mudita Earth is a clean, plant-based, natural skincare brand founded by my mom and myself, and we specialize on skincare solutions for women of color and their unique issues.
Now, plant-based is really big now, and obviously, you know, working with different ethnic skin tones can be a challenge. So how do you address that?
So my mom has a master's in cosmetic science, so she went and learned all the skin biology. She's an expert in this stuff. She speaks to our professors all the time to make sure everything we're putting out into the market is clinically backed, and we get our products tested in a clinical trial with people with varying melanin levels to make sure our products are actually effective on them.
That's great. I didn't realize there was such a science behind it, but that, you know, and that definitely sets you apart.
Exactly.
So take us through the products.
So we have 2 cleansers, 2 serums, and 2 moisturizers. The point is you should be able to make an easy AM and PM routine really easily. There's so many products on the market. We want to make it as easy for you guys. You grab a cleanser, a serum, and a moisturizer, and you're good to go.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because NIQ did a presentation yesterday where one of the main concepts they talked about was keeping that whole regimen down to a minimum.
Exactly. You want to make it as easy for the customer to buy a couple of products, take it home, and buy it again and again.
Well, again and again is the key.
Exactly.
Both for you and the retailers like that as well.
Exactly.
So you've had a lot of success. Can you talk about some of them?
Yes. So truly, all thanks to ECRM, we were not getting a single retailer. We were going to trade shows, we were setting up booths. Nothing was happening because you really need to get a one-on-one meeting with the buyer. Nothing competes with that. So we came to ECRM a year ago because someone on our team told us to do it, and we got Natural Grocers from there. We came again 6 months later and we got Cahey and Meyer from there. So we have seen immense success because once you see them in person, then you can do the follow-up emails, then you can do, hey, I would love to follow up. But if you haven't ever met them in person, no one's gonna look at your email. So this has been the root of our success. And once you get 1 or 2 retailers, then it's so much easier to get the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th.
You're already a proven concept. And
Exactly.
You bring up a good point though, you know, and the same thing works. I talk to our salespeople all the time about the importance of getting on LinkedIn and social media. Once you meet them in person, you keep that relationship going. But also, when you meet when people start seeing you in person, they're more likely to respond to those emails.
It's a game changer, honestly. It's not just about the relationship in those 10 minutes, which by the way is more than enough to get a yes from a retailer. It's about what you do after, and you have to keep that relationship once you're with the retailer. So we're with Natural Grocers. We meet Karen all the time. Every single time I'm here, I say hi to her, and that's how you really make sure that you're in lockstep with them, and you're doing what the retailer wants, and you're getting that product moving off the shelf, which is the ultimate goal.
And when you say you get a yes, it's not a yes that happens here. It's in the follow-ups. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. So all the yeses that I've ever gotten from ECRM have always happened about 3 to 6 months after. A good case is 3 months, but if you really do the follow-up, you're going to get that yes, especially if you're showing growth. You have to hear what the retailer wants. If they are saying, hey, we want you to be in a few more stores, or we want you to show XYZ growth, you do that, and then you follow up with them, and then you get the yes. That's absolutely the most important thing. You have to keep following up with them, and you will get that yes from them.
Yeah, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You know, we've heard some people come to like within 3 months. They're like, we're not in any stores yet. It's like, doesn't have. Even if you get that yes, it's still a few months before you're going to be on the shelf.
And by the way, every retailer I've gotten a yes from, I first got a no from them. Every single one, even the Natural Grocers, I first got a no from her a year prior. Meyer, I first got the no when I first met her here, but I showed her how much we improved, and 6 months later she gave us the yes. Even some of the other retailers we've gotten yeses from, first they were no's, and then you have to turn them into a yes.
The question is, how did you turn them into a yes?
Yes. Okay. So these are some of my best practices. First and foremost, really listen to what they want. So I always ask a retailer. I do my 5-minute pitch or 10 minutes, and then I say, okay, what are you looking for? How can we make this easier for you to say yes? And then you really have to listen. Do they want their basket size to increase? Do they want a new customer in their aisle? And then you work with that information, you hit those metrics, and then you take it back to them. And you say, hey, I listened to what you said, and I did X, Y, Z. That's the number one thing. Number two, visit the stores. If you want to be in a Natural Grocers or you want to be in a CVS or a Meijer, go to the store and see what's available. Find the white space and then show them, hey, we hit this white space so we can bring new customers to your aisle and we can lead to incrementality for you. That has been the number one thing that I always say that has always turned that no into a yes for us.
Well, they respect that. It's like, wow, you took the time, you put in the effort, and you visited our stores.
It means so much to them. I mean, the Meijer buyer was like, she called it out. She was like, that means so much to us that you actually took the time to do it. Mm-hmm. And it shows them, like, if you can take the time to do that for the pitch, imagine how much you're going to do for that retailer once you're actually in them. It's like an indicator to them.
Mm-hmm. And there was something else that you told me earlier where you study the products that are in that.
Oh, yeah. So what I do is I look at this, I'm in the clean natural category. So I'm gonna go to their clean natural planogram. I'm gonna see what's happening there, where's the white space, and then what I do is I Photoshop our products onto the shelf in the exact order they should be in, cleanser, serum, moisturizer, and then I take that picture and I show it to them because you wanted to make it as easy for them to envision your brand on the shelf, especially if there's already some gaps, and that has been a game changer for us.
Yeah, you can't make it any easier than that. They don't even have to imagine it. You're putting it right there in front of them. So, and I think that's brilliant. It was a secret. She didn't want to give it away, but I asked her just for this.
She'll convince me.
She could do it. So that's awesome. And then, once you're on the shelves, how do you support the sales?
Okay, lot of things. So I can talk about Natural Grocers because we've been in them for about 6 months now. First, we've done at least 100 store visits. And the good thing is they're in clusters. So my mom will go to Denver and she'll drive to she's my co-founder, she'll drive to 30 stores. We came to Dallas for ECRM. We hit all of the 10 Dallas stores that are around the area. We talk to body care managers. We look at our products on the shelf. We ask them, what does your customer want? Anything to make sure that we are in line with our customers' needs will always help. And then we do these little samples, we do Instacart ads, we do geo-targeted meta ads. All of this, plus maintaining a very close relationship with the body care manager, has been instrumental for us.
That's great. Because remember, the sale does not end when you're on the shelf. That's just
starts.
the beginning.
Oh my gosh, it's just the start. That is 10 times harder than getting on the shelf, 10 times more rewarding, more important. That's really where your focus should be.
So, what's next?
What's next? So I just had my CVS pitch through ECRM, so fingers crossed something good comes out of that. Next though is social media. We have this amazing story with my mom and I. We get the botanicals from our family on farms in our products, so we are going to blow that up on TikTok, Instagram, partner with people, do a lot of demos in store, do shelf talkers, merchandising trays. We're gonna make sure that our story is coming to life online and offline on the shelf.
That's awesome. Well, if we're ever together in another location and you're planning store visits, let me know. I'd love to tag along and just see what you do.
My gosh, totally. Yeah. We just went to a store yesterday and we spent 45 minutes talking to the body care manager. Yeah. And you know what's great? If you're ever on a lower shelf and you talk to them, they themselves would be like, you know what? I'm rooting for you. Let me put you on eye level shelf visibility. And so many body care managers have done that for me and it's helped so much. So it is worth every single second of time to go and talk to them and really give them the time and space to talk about what they think you should be doing. And really, it's listen to those people across from you, see what they have to say and actually do it. And you're gonna be in good hands.
That's another good point, and you bring up so many good points during this thing, is that, don't forget the importance of the people at the store level because they're your advocates to the end consumer. So if you build those relationships with the people at the store level, they're going to push for you. Or if someone asks them for a recommendation,
bingo. Bingo, that is exactly, especially a store like Natural Grocers, they have such close relationships with the customers. I can't form that with 170 locations, but I can form that with 170 people. I call them all, I've done at least 5 rounds of calls with all of these body care managers. You need to use that relationship because they're gonna be like, hey, I like the Mudita Earth product. Why don't you go buy that cleanser? And it works like a charm.
Yeah, I mean, and then, the other thing is, a lot of new brands, when they join Range Me or they come here, a lot of them want to start, I want to be in all the Walmarts. So I want to be,
Don't do it.
We recommend start small, grow organically. What's your philosophy on that?
Yeah, so we want to be a mass market brand. We just had the pitch with CVS, right? We're going to Meijer, but Natural Grocers was a very strategic first step for us. They are the nicest retail partner to have. The buyer is an amazing person, but also it's a very de-risked entry. The last thing you want is you're making 10,000 units, you're going into stores, it's not moving, and then you're buying back the 10,000 units, and then no retailer wants to touch you. So here we were able to develop very personal relationships. We're able to make visits. They also allow for sampling and shelf talkers and merchandising trays. A Walmart is not going to let you give out pillow packs out to customers. They allow for testers. So it was a very strategic decision so we can actually learn more about our customer and learn what works with them. So now by the time I go to an H-E-B or a Meijer, I have all these learnings and I'm not going in blind, because if I were, it would not be pretty.
And that's you start with independent, so more independent retailers, you have a little more flexibility to try things out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're redoing our packaging. So when we did 60 store visits, we were like, oof, our packaging is not working on the shelf. So we took a step back, redesigned it. And then with a store like Natural Grocers, it's so much easier, right? Like you can go to the store, you put your new packaging on the shelf, you see how it looks. You can even do a test in a store. It's a way better channel to go through at first than a Walmart, who is not going to give you any leverage whatsoever.
And there's a reason they do that, because they have to operate at such scales.
Yeah.
So they just, by nature, they can't do that.
Yeah.
An independent grocer that's got, if it's somebody with 10 stores or
Such an
20
advantage.
stores, they can just, it's one person making a decision. They can flip on a dime. They don't have to change a lot. So it's a good way, especially
you can
when you
understand
test
your
it.
customers so much better. It's so much easier to get to understand if you're doing demos in a Natural Grocers or a Bristol Farms or Lazy Acres, who your customer is. And honestly, that is probably the biggest thing anyone should be focused on at an early point, really knowing your customer. That's, I would say, paramount to everything else.
Well, that's a great point to end on.
Yes.
So, well, thank you. Congratulations on all your success. And I look forward to seeing more of it.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Bye.